streets. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, would have kept me from the one I had today.
Hello, good morning. How you doing, Robertson County? This is 1100 WSGI. I'm U-Turn LaVern. This is One Street Over. Yeah, I'm in here talking to my friends, Joe and Mark and I, just kind of catching up on everything. And, I just love talking to y'all. And I'm so sorry I waited till the last minute to call you guys and get you in here. I saw y'all at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, and Joe's like, LaVern, we need to get in. And I knew I only had this slot open this week. And so I've had it penciled into my book. Got to call Joe. And last night at about 8:30, I was like, I didn't call Joe. I'm so sorry. Because I knew it was so funny when I talked to you at the festival. I think my only slot open is Thursday morning. And I should have said that to you and said kind of tentatively plan on that. But I've learned to not book stuff without my book in front of me.
Absolutely.
Because if I don't, I end up, sometimes I'll double book or I'll forget I've talked to somebody. So I'm super careful about that now. So I didn't want to tell you anything for sure until I had my book in front of me. But hi, how y'all doing? Thank y'all for coming at the last minute.
Doing good.
Good morning.
Anyway, Memorial Day weekend.
It is. It's Buddy Poppy Week.
I know.
And what I wanted to tell you is how wonderful the people of Robertson County
I have one.
are to us. This is your whole pack.
Oh, bless. Thank you.
This is your own personal pack.
Thank you.
So tomorrow, Friday, the 23rd, we will be in White House at Tractor Supply and at Kroger until noon. We only run till noon.
Okay.
And
I just want to display.
That's because we're all so old we can't stand out there very long.
Well,
but
why?
I don't know. It's just the way it is. That age thing.
I like the way this is.
But we will be in White House tomorrow. And then Saturday, I have 7 locations in Robertson County. Cross Plains 3125 intersection and the 4-way stop in downtown Cross Plains. And then we'll be at Tractor Supply in Springfield.
Okay.
Douglas Market in Springfield. Walker Hardware.
Oh, yeah.
And Springfield, and Ace Hardware, and Kroger. It's amazing, and I've told you this before, how someone will run across the Kroger parking lot and put a $20 bill in our bucket.
I love it.
And it's just amazing how that happens.
Well, it's this area that we live in.
Yeah.
I mean, people are just that way. And I love this. I love that I like these little metal ones.
That's the new and approved Buddy Poppy.
I like it. I've had a Buddy Poppy that I've had on my desk at school. for years. It's one of the old tissue paper ones, but it kind of loses its, you can't really tell. The kids will go, "What is that, Miss Vivio?" And I'll explain it to them. But I like having these things, and I'll keep them around so I can explain it to the kids, and I just planting seeds, And I love these. These are great. These are awesome.
The younger generation needs to know the purpose of Memorial Day, and that is to honor the ones who didn't come back.
Amen.
And I will.
I'm just decorating.
Monday, I will be in Greenbrier at 9:00 for the Memorial Day celebration there, and then I'm going to White House at 10:30.
And you're going to be busy.
Yes. So I love what I do.
Yeah.
And we have a passion about Buddy Poppy. Our post is either first or second in purchasing the Buddy Poppies from the state VFW.
I love it.
I purchased about 4,000 this year, this time, and I'll do it again in November for Veterans Day. And I don't know, I pay, it's something like $250 or $1,000 for these things. And, and we get donations for them. That's all we ask. And all of our money goes toward veterans. We do strongly support the Junior ROTC. They're going to have about 15 cadets Saturday at various locations.
Awesome.
And these kids, you just don't
the best. Oh, I do. Yeah. One of them is one of my kiddos that is in my broadcast program, and just love him to pieces. And I've just watched him grow from a kid to a young man, and I just love seeing him in his greens. And I'm telling you, he's just a fine young man. And I just can't say. There's several of them actually. We had one of our girls that was in track that's in ROTC, and I just love seeing those kids in the hallways in those uniforms. It just makes my heart sore.
I've told them. I said, as long as you guys and gals are in control, turning older like I am, we're in good hands.
Yes, we are.
We're in good hands.
Yes, we are. And that's, I can't say enough. People, talk about this generation. This generation's fine. They're just fine.
Yes, they are.
You got some knuckleheads out there. You got knuckleheads out there.
I was a knucklehead.
I was too. I didn't really become a knucklehead till college, but I was a knucklehead. And I mean, my middle kid, the king of the knuckleheads. I think anytime I'm having trouble with a kid, I think about the teachers dealing with my middle child. And he is just the finest young man ever. He's the one who served in the military as well. You just couldn't have a better person. But he was challenged.
But they have good manners.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yeah. And Mr. Joe, what you want me to do? I said, take this bucket and go stand right over there.
That's awesome. Awesome.
The ROTC they're so good at getting the word out of exactly what these Buddy Poppies mean, and more people are becoming aware of their symbolism and how they do pay tribute to the soldiers and the families the soldiers that never made it home.
Well, and we have on Memorial Day, I always have a very traditional show that I do every Memorial Day, and I talk about my friend Kenneth Pease that didn't make it home, but locally. We have Donna Hagen's brother, Terry Smith, that I always talk about. And I have a blog. I actually have 2 pieces that I wrote that I write all the time. I don't get to write near as much as I like to, but I love to write. And especially when God just really put something on me. And the piece I wrote about Terry, absolutely, it was just the Lord. And it was, I wrote a piece, I did a blog one time, just kind of out of the blue, because I knew Donna's story. Mm-hmm. And I said he might have been a disc jockey because he was a radio guy. Mm-hmm. And what happened with him when he was in Vietnam, he was the guy, you think about the technology we have now and how we can see things coming in and you see the enemy and all this. Back then they had to listen for it. Right. And they would have, choppers coming in to take out the wounded, to bring in new soldiers and all this kind of stuff. And Terry's job was to listen for the pop of the artillery and to say, you need to back off because there was one coming. And so he'd radio, he said, back off, change your position. Yeah. Well, the radio was, he heard
That's
a pop.
All we had.
Heard a pop. The radio wouldn't transmit. Mm-hmm. All he had, the only way he could warn that helicopter off was to run out and to flag him down and run off. So he got killed doing that. And that, saved ever how many was on that helicopter, right? Yeah. Bona fide hero. Yeah. There's a gymnasium named for him up at, I want to say Quantico, maybe, but just an absolute hero. And I love, and I've told this at many of the things we've done for Vietnam Vets Day, and I often tell it, that Donna and them, they had some of his buddies that came along to see them after the war. And they were looking at the, because they had kind of like a little shrine like you do, especially just right after, in his parents' home. And they're like, well, where's his such and such award that he was given? And they're like, well, we're not aware that he had that. And what had happened, his effects had gotten destroyed before they got him home.
Right.
And so all of his stuff didn't make it, and so they didn't have everything. And so he had this award. So they went to a base somewhere and there was this big thing where they, and I think, I don't remember who the governor was, was part of it and all that at the time. I think it was McWhorter. I'm not sure because I've seen pictures and I think it was McWhorter. But Donna tells that they were coming out of the hangar and they had the document and the picture of the award, whatever you have. And there was like, the little dirt devils that come spinning, right? Out of nowhere, and it grabs that piece of paper. It was flying out of her mom or dad's hands, and you would think that once it dissipated, you would find it. Never saw it again.
Wow. Took it up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She says it was almost like Terry was coming down going, about time. And I'll use that analogy to say, what we're doing for our veterans now, it's about time.
Yeah.
And so I'll share that on Memorial Day, and then I'll talk about Terry and I'll talk about Kenneth and all of that. But we've got to share these stories.
Yes, we do.
We have got to, because if we don't, it's like I'm wearing my shirt, land of the free because of the brave today. If we don't, where are we headed? Where are we headed?
Do you know how many young soldiers from Robeson County were killed in Vietnam?
Oh, I'm afraid to ask.
14.
14.
Mm-hmm. And we, the VFW, we do Pitt Carroll and
the Memorial Football game.
William Pitt.
Yeah. The
trophy for the Springfield Greenbrier football
game. We want
game.
that trophy so bad. I know Greenbrier has a hard time beating Springfield. I keep thinking it's going to happen, but I don't know. I want that trophy.
And so many of the younger generation now do not understand of how the reception for all of us when we returned. Mm-mm. There was no reception, no welcome, nothing. But that is a universal greeting now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Is welcome home. Well, because we never received that.
Amen.
Yeah.
And like
upon
I said,
return.
And only in the last 4 or 5 years has that happened.
That's incredible. Yeah, it's incredible.
I went to church with people for 30 years that didn't even know I was a veteran.
Wow.
And now, they all know it now.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. It makes you smile inside.
Yeah.
Thinking, well, what I did, I was drafted. Mm-hmm. What my elders told me to do, I did.
Yeah.
I did with honor and pride and integrity, and I'm glad I did it.
Well, that also is because of your humility. I mean, many of us are very humble about what we've done, and
yes, we are.
We don't bow up and flex we just give all glory to God.
I did not win the war single-handedly.
There you go.
No.
But God bless y'all. I just admire y'all so much. I say my biggest regret in life is that I did not serve in the military. And, because I was just little when we lost Kenneth. And so I was terrified. I mean, I was just like, because Kenneth, I just looked up to him so much because he'd always been on our farm, because he was our hired hand. And I don't remember life without Kenneth when I was little. And because he wasn't he was just a few years younger than my parents, And so losing him, it made me afraid. And so, because I got recruited hard because I was a big girl, boy, they wanted me.
You'd have been a good one.
Oh, I'd have been a good one. Yeah, they recruited me hard because I had a lot of people around me. We had a camp director when I'd go to church camp that actually served in the Secret Service and military and all that. And he tried his best to get me to go in the military. But nonetheless, we've got, I got Mark and Joe in here today to talk to you again about, just to remind you, poppy sales are happening. This benefits our local veterans, guys. This helps the things that make sure that the story continues to be told. And also, too, to make sure that we honor those who need us. I mean, there's so many times, we'll talk about how that you'll hear about a veteran that needs groceries or just needs a ride to the VA, anything. And you know what? If you can help in this regard, if you're somebody that's like retired and you're like, I could drive a veteran sometimes, reach out to these guys and let them know, because there's just not enough volunteers to go around. And a lot of people they're just not even aware of the needs. And, so, I mean, how's the best way to get in touch with you? Is there an email?
We have a website.
Okay. How can they get in touch with you guys?
Post 2120 website.
Right.
Or just word of mouth.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, I got a call on Christmas Eve night that a lady here in Springfield, her oven had went out, and her son was coming in from Ohio or somewhere, and she was just devastated. So we got online, and one of our comrades, Jerry Scarborough, found the stove in Greenbrier. This was the
wife of a veteran, wasn't it?
Yes. And found the stove in Greenbrier. I went and looked at it, and it looked brand new. I gave her a $150 check. We took it to the apartment complex, and lo and behold, it was on the second floor. So me and two other veterans toted it up the stairs, plugged it in.
Yeah.
This lady started crying.
Oh.
And that's what it's all about.
You better believe that's what it's about. Yeah.
I don't want no money.
Isn't that sweet? I just love stuff like that. Yeah. Just loving on them and just helping through all the stuff. Because, a lot of these, we've lost so many to the effects of Agent Orange. And I mean, we could just start going down the list of people and what happened with them. And they've left behind families that need them still, and situations like that. And that's what this is about. So when you're giving money to the Buddy Poppy sale, that's what this is about, guys. That's about continuing to just love on, being the hands and feet of Jesus to those who just paid the ultimate price. Even if they came home, they paid the ultimate price, because so many, like we talk about veterans from Vietnam, especially, came home wounded.
And didn't know it.
Didn't even know it.
For
didn't
50
even know
years.
It. Yeah. Isn't that incredible? Incredible.
I
I love you guys so much.
We do have a national home in Michigan for children or actually for families, and we support that.
Right.
Many good things. That is a national home.
So many good things going on, guys, and we're so proud to be a part of it here at 1100 WSGI. I gotta say something. I'm going to jump off on one of my sponsors right now. Bernard Farms Custom Cuts and Market. They shared the show this morning. They're one of our new sponsors, and she's just making sure y'all know Memorial Day's coming up, and she has got a case full of 5 different types of bratwurst, just in time for Memorial Day. I love Julie. She's so fun. Pork chops, pork ribeyes, pork steaks, St. Louis ribs, Boston butts, original bratwurst, Kentucky bourbon, Hawaiian bratwurst, habanero and mango and jalapeno. Those are some, and they're fresh, not frozen, just made this week. Oh my goodness. So I just had to share that because I just saw she was sharing the show. Hi, Julie. How you doing? But anyway, I just had to share that. But now I want to go over a couple of things. So you've got the Buddy Poppies are going to be out all weekend. We also, Lee Marie will get me, we've got the flags going out at do you know what time? I'm wanting to, this morning, they're putting the flags out at Springfield Memorial Gardens. She'll message me. Maybe she put it up in comments. If I hit comments,
I think it's like 9 o'clock or something this morning.
Okay. Yeah. So we've got, try to message me, Lee Marie, and let me know for sure what the time is. She called me while I was getting ready to get in here, and mentally it just didn't register. But be sure and let me know what time. But we've got those flags going up. in the Springfield Memorial, so they could use your help putting the flags out for Memorial Day. And also, she was talking about some of the programs going on Monday, and you had just talked about that.
The one in Greenbrier is at 9:00.
Okay.
And the one in White House is at 10:30.
Okay.
I do know that there's another one, and I can't think where it is.
She'll know. She'll know.
Anyway, there's a lot of memorial programs going out, and Memorial Day is to honor the ones who didn't come back.
Yeah. It's different than Veterans Day, and people forget that.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different. And that's why we try. And if you've got a local story, I always tell Terry and Kenneth's story on Monday. But if you've got another one you want me to share, let me know. Somebody could come in here and join me on Monday morning. I'd be glad for them too. But if you've got another story of somebody that paid the ultimate price, we would be honored to tell it. And but that's what this is about. It's just incredible, and we just can't do enough to honor the reason why we're able to have the freedoms we've got, and I just appreciate y'all so much. When
you see an old veteran standing out Saturday morning at Kroger's or at Douglas Market, walk over and shake their hand.
Yeah, give them a hug. You can hug them.
Hug
them. So, but and give them whatever you can afford to do, guys, because it all is all going to a very good thing. Going to a very, very good thing. And now. You guys are the VFW. Now, the American Legion, will they have them too up at the?
Yes, they are. They'll be
out.
They'll be out at the post. The ladies auxiliary will be doing it.
Well, and that's a super convenient thing. You can just almost drive by and get your Buddy Poppies from them.
It's like drive through.
It really is.
Yeah.
Now, do you know if they're doing the pins or are they doing the traditional ones?
No, they got the traditional.
That's what I thought.
Poppy flower.
The poppy flower, the little paper
Yeah.
ones.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like these better. I'll be honest with you, I love these. These are cool.
When these first came out, I throwed a little fit. I didn't like them, but what we're learning is that everybody likes them. They've got them on their in their car around.
They stick around,
and they stick around.
Yeah, that's the thing. They stick around, and that's what I love about these.
Yeah.
And I just love them. I think that's great. But and it's just I just love what y'all are doing. I love to be a part of it, and I'm just so glad we got ourselves together. What are we missing here? We've still got about 5 minutes for Brian. I'm assuming Brian Pooley's coming in today. I stole his time last week. Because we needed the full hour for the Bluegrass Festival. We had musicians in here and everything. But so I'm assuming they're coming in today. I haven't heard from him to the contrary. So Brian and Catherine may be popping in here in just a minute. But anything else we need to cover?
By the way, I
both
did.
of you at the same time.
Hang on. Hang on.
You are so cute.
I did. I got $100 bill for a hot dog at the Bluegrass Festival.
You did?
Yes. And then the next person that come up and wanted 10 hot dogs, and I laid them all out, and she handed me $3.
Are you kidding me? You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding, but that's fine. That's what we do. That's the meaning of it.
Oh, bless.
Now go, Mark.
So
just
funny.
as far as the contributions on this Buddy Poppy Drive and this weekend, every red cent that comes in goes toward veterans.
Yes.
None of that money goes in a different direction.
No.
It all goes toward helping the families and veterans, disabled and whatnot. But
that's great.
And Joe just mentioned something about hot dogs.
And they're the best. I had one on Saturday. I think my husband had 2 or 3.
I tell you what, I can't count how many times people have walked away from our hot dog cart and said, and they mean it, and I'll vouch for them, these are the best hot dogs I have ever had.
They say, I had
I'm
one
not just
last
blowing
year.
sugar
I'm going to get another one.
Yeah.
It's the real deal.
They're the best. They are the best. And if I'm out and y'all have them, that's what I'm having for lunch. That's just all there is to it. And that's what I had last Saturday for lunch.
Well, our hot dog cart will be at Tractor Supply Saturday morning, set up, ready to go.
Ooh, I may have to swing by and get me a hot dog.
We'll be there till a Tractor Supply wants us to stay through lunch.
Okay.
So we will be there till about 2:00.
Okay. Yeah. I think we can, because we've got to go to a birthday party on Saturday for my granddaughter. When these little children have their birthdays, it's like a month-long celebration.
I quit having birthdays.
Huh? You
don't
did?
have
You
birthdays.
quit? Oh,
I don't have them anymore.
I embrace them all. Well, she turned 5 on Sunday.
Now that's the birthday.
Yeah, that's a little Anderson turned 5 on Sunday, so we celebrated. But now we're celebrating again on Saturday, having her actual party. What's really funny, we were having a little celebration for her on Sunday afternoon after church. And she had the little crown birthday. All of a sudden, my son has on a hat and he puts it on. He goes, my birthday's Friday, but nobody cares. One of the twins, my twins, everybody remembers the twins being born on Nashville radio, and they were. I was literally on the air with Les Jamison 30 minutes before Caleb arrived, and Jeremiah's the younger one, and it's so funny. They will be 34 on Friday. How old do you feel now?
I was 34. I just can't remember.
But a lot of people remember me. Because we were they went to remotes. I have a little radio station jackets with 106 on it with their names, little red velvet or red satin jackets that they wore when they were toddlers. We took them to remotes, man. It was hysterical, but they're 34, y'all.
What better way to come in the world than a radio station?
I'm telling you, we had fun. Yeah. Y'all remember Les Jamison?
Yeah.
Remember the British guy that did talk radio up in Nashville? Mm-hmm. He literally called me 30 minutes before. He called. He's like, "Well, how's it going, LaVern?" I'm like, "Well, I'm in labor, Les. How are you?"
I'm in labor.
I would love to have that. I would love to have the audio from that interview. We didn't archive everything back then. But anyway, what are we missing, guys? Anything else? We're going down rabbit holes. We're visiting.
We're gonna be in 7 locations on Saturday morning.
Okay.
Here in Robinson County at Cross Plains, 2 locations, then Tractor Supply, Kroger's, Walker Hardware, Ace Hardware, and Douglas Market.
Okay, but the hot dogs are at Tractor Supply.
The hot dogs are at Tractor Supply.
So if you want to go get your Buddy Poppies and get you one of these hot dogs we've been raving
Run
about.
by Tractor Supply.
Run by Tractor
Scott
Supply.
would just love it.
I'm not sure exactly what the timing is on when we need to leave Robertson County to go to this birthday party on Saturday, but I'm going to try to swing by there.
Swing by there.
Yeah, because I would love to have one of those. I love them. I mean, it's like you're like, when can I get another hot dog? Because they're just so good.
We'll set it up at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, okay.
And everybody out there in Radio Land can't see it right now, but LaVern has a shirt on, says, "Land of the free because of the brave," and that's exactly what this is all about.
Amen. I put this on very intentionally today for y'all.
Yeah.
For
I'm the reason you don't speak Vietnamese today.
Amen, brother. Yes, you are, and I appreciate y'all so much. Love y'all dearly. Thank you. Thank you.
Love
you
y'all.
for serving. Love y'all. I'm just so glad I remembered to call y'all last night at 8:30. I've known all week that y'all were coming on. I just forgot to tell y'all.
Only miracles.
I hear you. Love you guys. Well, that's got it for our time right now. I saw Brian come in, so I'm going to go ahead and do my ad while y'all switch out. Okay.
Thank you.
I'll see y'all around this weekend. I'll come find you. Love you guys. Thank you. And thank you for my poppies. I'll raise some money for these and I'll hand it off to you. I'll get you some money for them.
Give it away.
You got it. All right. Love you, brother. Bye, Joe. Bye, Mark. Okay, and we'll let Brian slide on in here. And while he's doing that, we're going to talk about, I'm going to again tell you, go out to Bernard Farms. Julie shared the show this morning. And oh, my goodness, her meat case is like a work of art. I'll talk about that in just a minute. But talking about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. I got so tickled. I had the reason why you lost your slot last week was because I had Barry and Rebecca in here. Well, Barry came in to talk about Kilgore Festival, and he brought some musicians in with him, so we needed that hour. But always, when he's in, we kind of do his ad live.
Yeah.
And I said, one of the big things I like to remind people that are wanting a different career, they some of them look at real estate. And he said, they say, we'll mentor you because they were mentored into it. And Rebecca was very, intentional when she went full time, researched companies and found that Exit was the company that just checked every box and crossed every T for her. And so that's why she went with Exit, and they're still with them and they really recommend it. But he goes, I might talk you out of it.
Yeah.
Because he goes, I'm super, super honest about everything. Lay it all on the table and make sure you know what's going on. But they're great to mentor you if you want to go into real estate. They are doing something I didn't know that they did. They will do a free market analysis for you. So if you need to take equity out, or if you decide you do want to sell. For me, I had them run one for me because I thought, everybody keeps saying, I've got all this equity in my place and I might need to tap that sometime. You never know when you're going to need resources, right? So I thought, I might need to know what that is. So I've got know all my options. And so they'll do that for you, no strings attached. It's just something that they were doing at the Kilgore Festival the other day. But whether you're wanting to sell property, buy property, whatever your needs are, you want to be a realtor, go and talk to them. You ask them your crazy questions, and they're just wonderful people to work with. They're dear friends. Cannot recommend them enough. Barry is the marketer of the bunch. He has a brokerage office here in Springfield, but he was a marketer for nearly 17 plus years in Nashville, vice president of a media marketing company. Rebecca had a very diverse background, was in radiology before she raised her kids. And then when she went back into the workforce, she went full-time into real estate, one of the top realtors in the area, just hands down. She's gotten all kinds of awards. But you can connect with them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy.robertsoncounty.com. They also buy and sell across the state line up in Kentucky. They're from Kentucky like me originally, so they understand the nuances of that. They specialize in Robertson County properties because they're cross-Planians, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties because they've just been all over. But great folks, very diverse background. You're going to love working with them. They're great friends of the program, great friends of mine. Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty. Always let them know U-Turn sent you. And as we continue on, I said I got to talk about Julie, but she put the show up and shared the show this morning. And my goodness, that meat case of hers, woo!
So good.
Oh my goodness,
So good.
I think I'm going to run over there today.
You should.
I just. Well, number one, I want to see what she's got in the store because they've got so many great gift ideas and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I really want to see that. But two, I also want to just kind of see all the gift items they have and those kinds of things. But their meat counter does look like a work of art.
I need to see though. You got it up?
Yeah.
I know we're on radio, but
no, it's okay. So, but here's the different flavors of brat she's got. She got original. Got Kentucky bourbon, Hawaiian bratwurst, habanero, and mango bratwurst.
Hawaiian sounds interesting.
Yeah.
A little sweet.
Yeah, look at that right there. Look at that. Isn't that something?
That is
you
that,
scroll, but isn't that
is
pretty?
that is a work of art.
They do. Well, you figure they slaughter every week because I try to remember to call her on Sunday. In the last 2 weeks, I'm so sorry, Julie. I've messaged her on Monday morning, and then it's her busiest time. It's not when I need to be messaging her, but I got to set an alarm to make sure I message her on Sunday afternoon. But it's like, what are you doing? So it'll be, and they alternate. Usually it's pork, then beef, pork, then beef. That's usually how they go. But this week it was pork because they wanted to get ready for Memorial Day and have the brats and all that.
Oh, yeah.
So
nothing better on the Memorial Day
weekend. You can't get any fresher than that.
There is no fresher. I
mean, come on.
They're a little far from me, so I don't get out there as much as I would like to, but their bone-in pork chops, the best I've ever had.
Hands down.
Just tender.
Everything.
Yeah, it'll make you, even if you're not good on the grill, it'll make you like you're good on the grill because the meat is so good, you can't mess it up. I promise you.
It's so good.
So,
good.
Yeah, I went to school with all them. We're about the same age, so yeah, they're. I'm glad to see them thriving. She used to come the farmers market or downtown, and that's kind of how I got hooked in with them. I've driven out to there a few times, but like I said, I'm in Cooptown. She's in Orlando, I think, so it's tough for me. But their stuff is worth driving for.
It's worth driving over there for. And so now that school is about to be out, I'm like, I've got to get by there. I've been just so covered up at school. I just haven't had a chance, but I think I'm going to get by there today. But I just cannot say enough about it. And with Father's Day coming up,
there you go.
I'll put together a fresh cut package.
Speaking as a father, we would love that.
Would you not love that?
Yes, of course.
That's what my husband may be getting for Father's Day.
I would love that. I would love that because that's my. They always ask me what I want. I said I just want some peace and quiet and let me get on my grill for a little bit and maybe watch a ball game for one's own. So
put together a gift basket for Dad from Bernard.
There you
Farms.
go. There you
How
go.
about that?
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
I love it. All right, Betty. What are we talking about today?
We got a few things. Well, one, happy last day of school for our teachers here.
Tomorrow, actually, we have to go for a report card handout.
Well, it's
Nobody wants them.
It's not a real day. Like you're not teaching tomorrow. It's just you're handing out.
I'm not teaching today.
You're done basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you figure today is for makeup exams.
Okay.
We actually will do makeup exams. Really, I suppose through tomorrow, but ideally, we really need to.
That's
get
for people that were sick or something.
Or just didn't show up, and there's those knuckleheads that you deal with. I mean,
I might have been one of them, so I'm not going to bag on them too much.
I look at the knuckleheads that graduated Monday night, and I looked at them, and I'm like, well, I'm glad you made it, and you know who I'm talking to. There's 2 or 3 of the boys, particularly. There's a couple of boys that
It's always the boys, isn't it?
It's always the boys. I raised boys, and I love them dearly, but I'm telling you, I was like, I'm just so glad to see you in your cap and gown with a diploma with your name on it, because and they're good, smart kids. They
Right.
they're just too big.
Well, we get distracted, for a little bit, and then we come
Yeah,
back. That's the way it goes. There's a distraction there for a while.
But
So
that's what we're dealing with today.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah.
some that were sick. I had a
legitimately.
couple of kids that just, bless them, they were sick into last week, first of this week. It
happens.
And just barely got back. And they're like, I don't feel good, Miss Vivian. I'm like, well, let's just get this done. She can get home. And just some late, little seasonal
happens.
viruses going through. And, but yeah, so
I had,
it does.
I had a severe case my senior year of strep throat, like 2 weeks before school was out, and I missed some stuff too. Like it was the same thing, and I was like, I couldn't even swallow. What we got here?
Oh, that's Buddy Poppy.
Oh,
I
cool.
was kind of covertly making sure you got one.
Thank you.
welcome.
Oh, Lee Marie texted me. You need to check your messages. She said yes. So I'm passing it along.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But happy end of school then for everybody. And I know the teachers had an extra bounce in their step when I dropped my son off on the way over here at his school. And we got awards at my daughter's school. Everybody's excited. She's excited. Everybody's ready to be done for a little bit. So
yeah, they're doing some awards for my grandson today out in Mount Juliet. And we can't be there. We've got just too many things going. I spilled water on my computer.
Oh, done it.
It's done.
Done it. Yeah.
And so I'm having to rebuild everything. And we have this thing.
the worst.
It's like, and it was so stupid. It's the thing I tell my kids: get that water, get that
know.
drink away from your computer.
And yet I do it all the time.
And I just
I eat lunch at my desk a lot, and just because I'm
it's so
multitasking.
stupid. I was rushing through some stuff and just so stupid, but I'm paying for it now.
Yeah.
And we have a thing called SSQI with CTE teachers. So CTE, Career and Technical Education, the SSQI is what we put together. It's the data showing the state we're doing what you're asking us to do. Lesson plans and, pictures of field trips and speakers, those kinds of things. And it's just that proof. And I got to redo it all. So anyway, I'm getting it done. So that's what I'm doing right now.
That's fun. I've done it multiple
But
times.
it's happened. I learned the lesson.
You did. It was just barely. When I did mine, it was just a little bit.
That's what happened to me.
And it was not even a
wasn't
lot.
that much.
It was just but it must have got in the right stuff, and it literally just fried it. So yeah.
Yep.
And then I've spilled coffee on it before, and it was nothing. I ran over it one time. It was in my bag, and it was put in the trunk, and I accidentally backed over this current one I have now, and it's still working. So I'm not plugging HP computers. They're the slowest computers on earth, but you can run over them, and they'll still work. I learned that this should be in a commercial because I learned
This is
the hard
a
way.
Mac. Mine's Mac.
A little more sensitive.
Yeah. Well, and the thing now, your external, your hard drive can't be removed. It's like fused into the board for the power.
It's on purpose.
And so, and if you can't power it up, you can't restore the data on it. Now, I'm still trying to. I got a kid that's an electrical engineer, and he's like, I can fix it.
There you go. There you go.
Well, but it's a school computer. And so because of the privacy laws, you can't
let anybody else
so
touch
I'm
it.
trying to see if I can get him to sign something saying all he's going to do is power it up. If he signs something, if they'll let him do that.
Yeah.
So I'm working on you.
There you go.
Working on
There you go.
the powers that be in school. If my
I would
son
think the
signs
school.
something,
I think they would be happy if it's getting fixed.
you got to be careful though.
Yeah, no,
and I get that.
You got sensitive information.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Right.
You've got all the kids' stuff is on there, but it's all password protected.
Yeah.
So if we can power it up, we can recover the data off of it. That's the problem. So if I can find somebody that can power it up and sign paperwork saying he's just powering it up, I don't know.
I'll be one of them
I'm working on it. I'm
ask
trying.
for forgiveness, not for permission.
Well,
things.
you got to ask for permission on stuff like this.
I know.
You got to.
It's different what y'all do.
Yeah,
so.
it's different. It's just you got to. I get it. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, what else you got going on?
Speaking of getting out of school, this is timely. I wanted to share this. One of our partners who does amazing work, not just in this county, but throughout our footprint pretty much at this point. Tennessee Kids Nutrition is going to be feeding kids this summer. And
Praise
so
the Lord for you.
Donnie King and his group and his just army of volunteers and then their staff there is amazing. We have, I'm going to sing their praises just for a minute, but we have utilized, he has a great warehouse space here in Springfield, and for United Way purposes, we have had multiple things, giveaways with partners like Electrolux, where they did an air conditioner giveaway one year, and then we did kitchen supply giveaway one year. And so we've utilized his warehouse and his tow motors and everything else that he has over there, and his trucks and everything. And he is a wonderful partner. They are a wonderful partner, and but they do some amazing work feeding kids here in this community throughout the year. And do it. You might not even be aware that they're doing it, and that's by design because kids are mean, and they. But there's a lot of kids that are going home after school or on the weekends, and they don't have food at their house, and that's nobody wants to think about that, but it's a reality, and so they make sure that they're taken care of. So they're going to have free food for kids in Robertson County this summer. Starts May 24th and ends Monday, August 4th. You can go to www.10kids.org /summer feeding, and or just go to his website. It'll be on there. www.10kids.org. I'm going to share the link under your the show feed, and there's also a QR. So he's gotten real fancy here, but they're feeding kids all, and it's not just here in Robertson. It's in Cheatham, and I want to say Montgomery as well. I guess I could just click the link. It's there, but I know for sure it's Robertson County as it pertains. And there's a whole schedule on here, and it has pickup locations and everything. So it's pretty comprehensive there. So if you know people that have children that may benefit from this or use this, hey, I know how it is. Kids are home in the summer, and the groceries being what they still are, it's expensive. It's expensive, especially if they've been eating lunch at school 5 days a week and breakfast. And breakfast as well, and
getting snacks from their teachers.
And a little candy here and there and stuff like that. We know it. I got a growing boy at home, and he eats me out of house at home. So it is a valuable resource for the summer. Please, so if you know anybody, take advantage of it. Go to 10kids.org website. They'll have all the information on there. You can get signed up. Also, if it's just like it may be just we've got some kids staying with some grandparents for a couple of weeks, and you just need some help for a couple of weeks, that's available too. So please take advantage. Donnie and his group do a wonderful job. It's good food. It's good quality food as well. His network that he has established with vendors and with the donations he gets. I mean, he gets good stuff that kids like. So I promise you, it's a wonderful program. And again, I wish we didn't need it, but we do. And so I'm glad that they're there to fulfill that for us. So please take advantage of it and get the word out. Let people know. I'll put it on your link, and you can just click the link and go from there. So I'm just thankful for Donnie and his crew, and just proud to call them a partner of ours too.
Amen. Yeah. And I'll tell you, they are the reason why my husband and I keep peanut butter crackers in our classrooms, because we know there's some kids who'll come up and hit us up for crackers all the time, and they've got plenty of
they just
of
like
resources.
Your crackers.
They just like our crackers.
Yeah.
I had a couple of kids wrote me notes, thanks for the crackers, Miss Vivio, and I'm like, so you just but they're the reason why, because I know the ones that come and ask me for crackers that I know. I look at the demographics of these kids, and I know the ones that they didn't have a chance to get anything to eat. Maybe they were late to school and missed breakfast because they had a hard time getting to school or something. I had one kid tell me, he kept hitting me up for crackers, and I was like, I said, don't want this to be a hammock, Right. And he goes, well, Miss Vivio, he goes, he just kills me. He goes, I go every morning, and I help with my granddaddy, who's debilitated. And he goes, I'm just barely getting to school, and I don't have time to get breakfast because he has to pay for it still. He goes, it's just a timing thing. He goes, I try and do better. I said, buddy, you can have crackers every day. Yeah. After telling me that, I said, you come see me every morning and I'll feed you.
Yeah.
When I turned, and we became so close.
That's awesome.
I just love him to pieces, and we just became so close. But he shared his story with me, and I was like, you better believe it, buddy. I'll feed you every morning. There's some of these kids, they need some help.
They do.
There's a lot that'll try to take advantage of it, because they're knuckleheads. But there's a whole bunch of them that are just very humble and just don't want people to know what they're going through.
Right.
But I love you, Donnie, and what you made us look at.
Yeah.
See that.
When it's a calling for him.
Yeah.
And he's been doing it a long time.
Really
and
go ahead.
I've watched it expand. I've been here 6 years now, and I toured his place. I just went around and met our partners when I first year, and to see it grow from what it was then to now, and just the outreach that their reach. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna write myself a note to call him, because I need to get them on. I had him on to tell the story of how that started.
Oh yeah, it's a good story. It's a good story. Yeah.
And so I'm going to call him and try to get him in maybe next week to just kind of tell that story and just kind of reiterate what you just said about what they're doing.
Please do.
I mean, it's such a great story.
It's God's calling for sure for him and for his crew over there, and they're amazing. And he's amassed an excellent staff too that are just wonderful, hardworking folks. So
he's a good actor too.
He's very good.
You ever seen him in these plays?
Yeah. Well, I go to church with him, and so I see his his hair growth and facial hair,
depending on what role he's in.
Yeah, so it's
really.
I always tell when he's in a play because he'll have something crazy going on.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, but I love seeing him in plays. I'm like, he's just a chameleon.
Great organization though. So, and if you get a chance to support them, I know they're volunteers they can utilize over there. We've done some packing over there. It's not labor intensive work, and you can go over there and make a difference. And you're just packing bags for kids to eat. So, a great organization. Also, and I know this is crazy to talk about on the last day of school, but we are in prep already, deep prep.
I knew you were going there.
I have to start promoting now.
I knew you were going there.
But we're collecting already, which is crazy. But it's just the turnaround is so short if you really think about it. I mean, summer's like 8 weeks now. It's not like it was when we were younger. But we're for Stuff the Bus this year for United Way. We do this throughout our 9 counties. Last year, I think we distributed over 15,000 backpacks to kids throughout this 9 county. Again, that's another thing. And you were just talking about it. I'm glad you brought that up. I know we see a lot of negative stories about young people and things when they get in trouble or things that happen. We don't know a lot of these kids' story. We don't know what they're going on at home and what they're dealing with and who they're having to take care of their little brothers and sisters and what kind of home life there is. And we all know that this opioid epidemic has absolutely destroyed some families, and you got a lot of people living with aunts and uncles and grandparents and whoever. So take a minute before you put judgment on some of these kids and try to understand maybe what they're going through. But not having school supplies when you go back to school and not having your stuff can be like it's a confidence killer right off the bat. Yeah. And so this program has been around a long time, the United Way. We work in conjunction with a lot of our partners throughout these counties that already do giveaways and everything. But what we do is work with our corporate partners who donate money, they donate supplies, they donate volunteer time to pack all these things, and so we make sure that we get the backpacks and get them to where it makes sense within that county. So it might what we do in Robertson County may be different in Davidson or Cheatham or Montgomery, but we have partners in every one of those counties that we work through to make sure the kids that need them are getting the supplies. And so if you want to be involved in it this year, please give me a call, 615-780-2401, 615-780-2401. That goes right to my cell phone. Love to speak with you about it. You can volunteer. You can collect items at your work. You can just give some money, and then we will use our purchasing power. We can buy more. So we love just straight money. I'm thankful this year for the first time since I've been to United Way. We absolutely maxed out last month. Yeah, I think it was the end of last month on our sponsorships for the year. So we are completely full on our sponsorship side because we don't have so many slots because you have to fulfill all those things. Yeah. And beautiful. Everybody stepped up and said, I want to sponsor this thing. So they're already off to a great start, but we want to give away more backpacks this year than we ever have. That's the goal every year, and it's grown every year. There'll be 2 volunteer opportunity days at Nissan Stadium that I can get you information on. You can sign up through our hands-on partners. We'll have a local opportunity here. We'll have one in Cheatham. We'll have one in Montgomery. There's plenty of ways to get involved. We're also doing a thing in Metro and then Clarksville this year, and we're hoping to expand it throughout the 9 counties where we're going to some schools on the first day. We'll bring some volunteers out and just to welcome the kids and just be a positive light, basically.
That's awesome.
And last year, Cumberland Electric, give them a little shine, local partner. They got with us in Clarksville because that's where they're based out of, and they had bubbles and lasers and lights and all kinds of stuff, and the kids loved it. These are elementary school kids, absolutely loved it. You could see some that were getting off the bus that was like, what's going on? It's the first day, and they just lit up, because people were high-fiving them and just giving them a little push. So there's a chance to get involved in something like that too. So again, plenty of ways you want to get involved and do a little something, we can tag you in. And so again, 615-780-2401, give me a call. Love to talk to you about it. And just if your company is interested in it, we love it. There's so many ways to get involved. If you want to collect on site, great. You want to give us money, great. You want to volunteer, great. However you want to be involved. We love people that are not familiar with United Way. I look at the days of action. We call them they're like toe dippers. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know about this. Just jump in with us for a little bit. You can just ease in a day of action, see what we're about, and I promise you're going to come away a little better for it.
Yeah, and you're going to get so much more out of it than you give. That's the thing I just keep going to when somebody's asking me about volunteer opportunities. I'm like, just do it. And you will just be amazed at the blessing that'll be pouring out. I mean, you'll be blessing others, but you're going to get way more out of it than you give. Lee Marie sent me some messages.
Sure, do your thing.
Let's do this real quick. Okay, Lee Marie, I got it. Today I was talking to to Joe and Mark about what we had for putting the flags in. We were thinking it was this morning. It's not. It's at 5 p.m. today. 5 p.m. today, they're going to put the flags over at the graves of Springfield Memorial Gardens. So join them at 5 p.m. today if you want to help put those flags out for Memorial Day at Springfield Memorial Gardens. Also, the American Legion Auxiliary is doing a special poppy presentation for kids from 10:30 to 11:30 this morning at the American Legion as you go through Greenbrier. So it's right there, real obvious. So 10:30 to 11:30, special thing for kids. Also today, we've got that already about the setting the flags today. Oh no, there's one in Greenbrier. They're also doing 5 p.m. today, volunteers to put flags on soldiers' graves at the Greenbrier Cemetery Road in Greenbrier. That's going on. Monday, the 26th at 9 a.m., there's a Veterans Day celebration at Austin and Bell, and that's in Greenbrier. You can come and honor them. Of course, if you listened to the show earlier, Joe mentioned that there's one in White House as well. I don't have the specifics on that, but there is one in White House. And, here, Lee Marie's got it. 11 a.m. Memorial Day celebration at the flag post at the White House Municipal Complex at 105 College Street in White House. So there we go. And we'll go through those tomorrow again. But if you want to help put the flags out, 5 p.m. today at the Greenbrier Cemetery or at Springfield Memorial Gardens, and you can participate in that.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. What else you got for us?
I just sent you the link for Donnie's group. So if you want to, because I'm off of Facebook,
gotcha.
kind of.
Okay,
so
I got you. I'll post that.
But I can get on there. If you can post that, that would be great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that gives, I've got to get in touch with them because I really want to have Donnie in and let you just hear this backstory because this is such a cool thing. It is such a cool thing that they do. But I'll put that up in comments right now if you're joining us on social media. But again, just so many wonderful things going on. I brag on United Way all the time. I just had no idea what United Way was up to until they started coming in here. And they've just been such a blessing to this show. And we appreciate y'all coming in every
We love it. Yeah, we appreciate the opportunity you give us to spread the word. And I always, kind of look at us, and you say it, but the bridge builders, but also I like to talk about our partners because, they're the ones that are doing a lot of the actual service work. We do service work as well. We have a lot of programs, but I like to highlight them because a lot of times people are not even aware that they're doing this work. And we've got nonprofits in this area that have been doing it a long time, and people might not be aware of the good work that they're doing. And a lot of them, I'll say again, are volunteer-based organizations. It's just, I just appreciate what they do. And if you haven't had to utilize those services, you wouldn't really appreciate them in the way. But if you ever have, I promise you do. And so we've got such an amazing nonprofit community here in Robertson County, and just they work together. We have quarterly meetings, partner meetings, and there's not doesn't feel like a competition, you know what I mean? For like, well, we need to get these funds or whatever. They're working in concert with each other and want to support each other, and to hear that collaboration that goes on in those meetings, it's inspiring to me that they're working, because they just want they have the heart for what they do. They just want this place that we live, we work, we call home to be a little bit better. And so it's just, it makes my job easy to get up every day and talk about them and go out and try to raise some money so that they can do what they need to do. And that's the way I look at it. So if you have a chance to get involved, again, we've partnered with it used to be Hands On Nashville. Now it is just Hands On, and they now are within the United Way umbrella. And so if you've ever wanted to volunteer, they have a calendar that they update, I think, pretty much daily. And it's every kind of opportunity under the sun you can think of, is small groups, big groups, individuals, whatever you want to do. Really labor intensive stuff, not labor intensive stuff. You can go to their so go to the Hands On website, and you just search Hands On. Go to Google and search Hands On Nashville or search Hands On, and they update that calendar all the time and can get you involved. And our partner agencies are littered throughout there, and it's not just our partner agencies, but it's nonprofits throughout Middle Tennessee that are needing help. And so if there's so many opportunities to get involved and do a little something. And again, I know a lot of times we want to, think the people want to be negative and say, well, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with that? we all have the ability to go out and make it a little bit better. You know what I mean? And just help out a little bit. And I promise you're going to feel better about things when you do that, right? Yeah. There's still so much good in this world, I promise you. And there's so good folks out here that are trying to help people. And it was that the thing that Mr. Wright always said, look for the good. When something bad happens, look for the helpers, basically. Amen. So look for those people, and there's so many of them out there. And I've been blessed in this job to be around a lot of them. And Hands On had their annual awards. It's their volunteer award. They recognize all their best volunteers, and it was 2 weeks ago. And I tell you, you want to go be inspired, but also feel like I need to get my life together a little bit, because these people, you got kids, you got people that can barely even walk up on the stage, that are being honored because they spent so many hours volunteering and helping. They barely can get around themselves, and they're still pouring it out. And and I know this. We're Christian radio here, so we can talk about this. It's like they are following God's path. They are the hands and feet of Jesus right here on this earth, and to see it and know that's what's driving their heart too. Yeah. It's inspiring for me, and it's like some days we feel tired in what we do. And I know you as a teacher, I'm sure some days it's like, well, I don't got it today.
I got some sleep last night, so I'm pretty good. But I was
but what you're doing is making a difference. And pouring in these young people. You know what I mean? And it starts there. I believe that's always been where my passion is. Yeah. Let's get to them while they're young and try to plant some seeds then, because a lot of times once people get a little older, it's more difficult to change direction. But if you can get them younger, maybe you've made a difference. And we have so many opportunities. And we also have a new raise your hand person that we starting. Dr. K has completed her stuff, and we always knew it was going to be kind of temporary with her. And she is so good. Precious. She's still going to be around, but she is going into her next career, which is she's going to be doing some she's basically a psychiatrist, I think, and doing her own thing. And so we knew that was happening. She's still involved a little bit, but we're going to have a new full-time person here in Robertson County that will be working. She built that program. I think we're up to 11 schools, something. It started out from nothing. She was precious. Great to have. So when the new person starts, but that'll be another way that we can get involved. And when that person is on maternity leave right now, she was having a child, and so I think she'll be back this summer. So probably closer when school starts, we'll get her in, and she can talk about that program. But that's another way to get involved as well. And so our goal here is just to make it available. And if you want to get involved, we'd love to have you. If you just want to write checks, we love that too, and we can always use that, because that's going right in our general fund, which we use to fund our partner agencies here in the county that does all the good work. So
I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. United Way, guys. We've got a good one right here in Robertson County, part of the United Way of Middle Tennessee. Get a hold of Brian today, and anything that we've mentioned that you're interested in, and
please call me.
Definitely, I'll reach out to Donnie.
Yeah, do
your number.
615-780-2401, 615-780-2401. That goes right to my cell phone. I'm going to say this too. We've noticed in the last couple of weeks, we've got a lot of people. We've gotten a lot of phone calls with folks that are struggling to pay bills, that are late on bills, and just things seem to be. Yep. That is picked up. If you have a heart for maybe wanting to help those people, we have partner agencies that help with that. Let me know too, because that our capacity is getting a little thin there. And so if that's something he's like, hey, I don't have the physical ability or the time to do this, but I would like to help somebody that's in a crunch. Yeah. Let me know on that as well, because it breaks my heart to talk to them and they've exhausted all the channels, and they're still at that point, and they're trying. A couple of them are older folks that are just like it. The Social Security is just thin. It's not getting it done, and
they don't know what to do.
So we're always looking for help there too, and we do everything we can, and our partners are great, and they're doing everything they can. But they have a system, and there's only so much they can do. They don't have endless funds either. So if you want to help there too, we could use it right now, because it seems like those calls have picked up. So
for sure. We appreciate y'all so much. And we're out of time, but before we go, we have one of our new sponsors, and I'll do a big ad for them tomorrow. But I was just kind of looking through the UPS Store's Facebook page. I learned something every day about something they do. I didn't know they did passport photos. They did my last notary that I needed to do. They print all kinds of stuff. They printed our name badges for Celebrate Recovery. we think about, we drop our Amazon stuff off there all the time, but all this other stuff that they do, guys, and we'll talk a little bit more about them today, but go and check out their Facebook page, check out their social medias, and we'll talk a little bit more about them. But yeah, I didn't know they did passport photos. That blows my mind. They're at 513 Memorial Boulevard in Springfield. And I mean, the manners and the just graciousness of their people there just blow me away. Awesome. The UPS store right here in Springfield. And we'll talk a little bit more about them tomorrow. But another one of our sponsors here at One Street Over. Thank you, Brian, for coming in. Thank you guys for joining us. Tomorrow is Faith Friday. I hope you'll join us. And we'll see you then. Thank you. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have an absolute fabulous day.
Items of regret to report this hour.
Hi friends, this is Josh Franks of Josh and Ashley Franks. Thank you for listening to Good Old